What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome to episode 2 of Spawn Guides. In this series I cover all of the important spawns and how they behave on every map in Call of Duty Ghosts. This series will be centered around Domination, but there will be a little bit of overlap as well with other respawn game modes. In this episode, as requested by you guys, we're going to be covering the map Strikezone. If you missed the prelude to this series, I highly recommend you guys go and watch that first because it explains the general spawn behavior in Domination, and you really need that knowledge to be able to understand exactly what I'm talking about in this series. I'll give you an annotation link to that video right here, as well as a link in the description. Okay, so just like with episode 1, we're going to start this off by mapping out all of the common spawns for each flag on the map, and then we'll go in depth with each of them in a little bit. Remember, these aren't necessarily the only spawns on this map, they're just the most common ones that you're going to see most of the time. So the A flag has 4 popular spawns attached to it. There's 2 right next to it, there's one just outside and around the corner, and then there's also one at the top of the stairs behind the hot dog stand. The most common spawn is the one right here, but it really depends on the spawn influencers. So moving on to the C flag, we have once again 4 common spawns. There's 2 right next to each other, right where you initially spawn on this map if you spawn at C. There's one near C behind the statue, and then there's one just inside the pro shop right by the bar. Now before we get into the B flag spawns, we also have a few shared spawns between A and C. These are spawns that you'll get quite often if you hold both A and C, but they can also all be used if you only hold one or the other. So if my team only holds the A flag, but I have enemies pushed up towards A, and maybe I have teammates that are pushed up mid-map or towards the pro shop, I'll likely spawn at one of these shared spawns. The same thing can happen if I only hold the C flag. So finally, let's cover the B flag, which has 5 popular spawns attached to it. There are 2 inside the B bar room, 1 inside the kitchen, 1 outside the bar towards the A flag, and then another one outside the bar towards the C flag. Okay, so those are all the common spawns on this map for Domination. But that's not all we cover in this series, so make sure you stick around. So now let's look at a situation analysis where things didn't go my way because of my poor spawn prediction. This was actually recorded just after launch time, so you can really see my inexperience coming through here. It's always nice to learn from mistakes, so I thought this clip would work very nicely. So right here you can see my team holds the A flag, and me along with 2 of my teammates are pushing for that C flag from the middle of the map, and none of us have come through the pro shop area. Based on the minimap, I can also see that I have other teammates pushed up somewhere around the B flag area, but I'm not too sure exactly where. Do you see the potential flaw in my positioning right now based on all of this information that you can see? When I watched this part back just now, I had no memory of this situation since it was from such a long time ago, but I could easily see the flaw. None of my teammates had pushed through the pro shop, and we were all looking towards the B flag, while at the same time we have teammates in the B area likely blocking off some of the B spawns. No one was paying attention to the possibility of that pro shop spawn, and there's absolutely nothing preventing the enemies from spawning there right now. This cost me a death that could have easily been avoided. As you can see, he spawned right in the pro shop. Now it just happens that right after this, I spawned in and I have another really important thing to note for you guys on this map. If you spawn at this spawn here, which is quite possibly the most common A spawn on the map, always check your minimap before moving. If you don't have teammates outside to your right, be prepared for enemies to be there. You can have enemies literally right around the corner sometimes, and they won't block the spawn off because they don't have a direct line of sight on your spawn. Alright, so now it's time to test your guys' knowledge of spawn behavior as well as the spawns on this map. So let's create a situation. Your team holds C and A, and the enemy team holds B. The red arrows with the white outline are enemies, and the green arrows with the blue outlines are teammates. One of the red players has just been killed. Where will he spawn? I'll give you guys a few seconds to decide. Okay, time's up. If you guys chose this spawn right here in the kitchen, you are correct. Let's go over the reasons why. So we know that spawns are generally attached to a flag, and this red team only holds the B flag at this point, so the game wants to spawn them at one of the B spawns. If you look at all of the other B spawns besides that kitchen one, you'll notice that there is a green player with a direct line of sight or within really close proximity to those spawns. That means these spawns are blocked off and they are not available for use for those red players. This means that that kitchen spawn is the only safe B spawn at the moment, so that is where the red guy is going to spawn. Alright, so this next test is going to be much more difficult, and it's more designed for those people that are feeling pretty confident in their spawn knowledge. If you don't get it, don't be discouraged at all. This is not easy to predict, and it requires you to know the spawn locations on this map without the help of a graphic. So even if you guess just the general area of the spawn correctly, give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, so in this case, the green team holds A and B, and they're pushed up quite aggressively towards C. I'll give you guys a little hint. They're likely blocking some of the C spawns. Where will the red guy spawn right now? If you want to pause the video to take some extra time, please feel free. Okay, if you guys guessed one of these two spawns here, you are correct. Let's look at the reasons why. So if we bring up the full spawn map here, you can see that every one of the C spawns is blocked by a green player. Adding to this, all of the red players are pushed up more towards the mid-map area rather than back at C, so they're going to anchor the spawn towards the middle of the map. This means that it's very likely that they're going to use one of the shared spawns between C and A. But you'll notice that this one shared spawn right up here is being blocked because the guy sitting on the A flag has a direct line of sight on that spawn. This means the only two other options are these spawns right here. So that's all I have for this second episode of Spawn Guides. Let me know in the comment section which map you'd like to see next. And the one that I see the most in the comments is the one that I'm going to cover in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.